the waymaker. We are seeing a serious jubilation, celebration in the southeastern part of the country, across the length and breadth of Biafra land. And the reason is not far-fetched, because evidence coming from the court is already showing that Nnamdi never possessed any weapon of terrorism on him as at the time of arrest. And these are got people talking and celebrating. And we understand that the governors of the region are already regretting all the role they played against him. But let me get the reaction.
Thank you for having me on this channel this morning. I've said it several times without number that Nnamdi cannot commit no offense. And that's what has confirmed in the court, because there's no any ammunition that was being found under his possession. As I used to say that Nnamdi are not the problem of Nigeria. The problem of Nigeria are the Fulani headers. The problem of Nigeria are these old takers, the politicians who have taken the resources of this country to be their personal wealth. They are the problem of Nigeria. Come to look at it, Samuel Ekpan has been restricted not to communicate with Biafra. Nnamdi under the DSS. Killing has been going on in the southeast. Have you asked yourself what is causing the killing? I thought they said that if Samuel Ekpan is being old, if Samuel Ekpan is no more speaking with Biafra, killing will stop. Why is killing still everywhere? Why is the people from Enugu are shouting that they can no longer to find? So that's to tell you that all this energy Nigerian government is wasting in Nnamdi as Samuel Ekpan is not needed. They should channel this energy on how to end Boko Haram. They should channel this energy on how to end this Fulani herdsmen. My people have been killing in Benue. My people have been killing in Plateau. Yet Tinubu for the sound. As if Tinubu is not concerned. One of the reasons that we prefer the Southern candidate in 2023, some of us will split our vote for Peter Obi, but some of us vote for Bola Ahmed Tinubu, was because we want to end this Fulani feeling that they own Nigeria by going from one place to another to kill people, by inviting Fulani from different Africa to come Nigeria, to come and take over Nigeria. Little did we know that Bola Ahmed Tinubu region would be worse than Buhari. As I speak to you now, the killing that is going on in my own region in Benue, in Middle Belt, in Benue, in Plateau, is Tinubu is not speaking. What is happening? Is Tinubu using all the Middle Belt to play politics? I will say we can no longer take it. Enough is enough. And that's why we are saying that Nnamdi cannot commit no offense. Everything Nnamdi cannot preach. Over 10 years ago, he was only voice in the wilderness, shouting, preaching this message about the agenda of Fulani, about them taking over Nigeria, Islamizing this country. And that is what is going on. Are they not killing in the Yoruba land? Are they not killing in the southeast? Are they not killing in the middle belt? They are killing everywhere. So if Nigeria were to be a country that value people, Nnamdi will have been valued and protected by armies, because he was the one against all. He came out to tell Nigeria to prepare ahead. Nnamdi was just like the case of Joseph. Joseph, when the king of Egypt dreams and he could not understand the dream, they called on Joseph to come and interpret. And Joseph interpreted the dream to Pharaoh and told you that this thing you saw 7 cows, fat one, and tiny cows. This is how it's going to be. They are going to be abundant 7 years. They are going to be farming in 7 years. What you will do, harvest all these things. Let's have it in storehouse. And what happened to the children in the land of Egypt? When they were farming in other places, the 7 years that the Egyptians used to gather food items with the help of Joseph's interpretation of dream was what saved the children of Egypt. To the extent that the people of Canaan, they moved to Egypt to go and secure, to go and survive. And that's what is happening in Nigeria today. Many Nigeria today are running from Nigeria, go to Europe, go to Ghana, to go countries that wish not possible to go. I wish Nigeria government listened to Nnamdi, remove sentiment of hatred against Igbo. And what this young man is saying about this Fulani, could it be? And we projected and they work fast, all these things will have not happened. Today, as I speak to you, Buhari confirmed me, the former president, that the Fulani men that are killing are not Nigerians. That they are Mali, Burkina Faso Fulani that came to Nigeria. But the question I want to ask you this morning is that how did these Fulani men come into Nigeria? Buhari and APC imported these people come. How did they import it? Buhari told Nigeria that if Jonathan forced himself in Nigeria in 2015, he's going to make his government ungovernable. And today, nobody is questioning Buhari. That statement you make, that statement is what we are facing today. That you can see this Fulani moving from one place to another. They are killing people, driving people. In my place in Benue, in Plateau, they kill people, they take over their land. Even the governor of Benue came to national news channel and told Nigeria that, oh, the Fulani that are killing my people, they are not Nigeria Fulani, they are Benue. Oswald. If they are not Nigeria Fulani, what are you waiting for to the president? Oh, the federal government did not give us access to hold gun. You will wait until they buy all your people. Is that what we are saying? So what am I saying in essence is that Nnamdi should be protected by our cause. We are believing that Justice Omotocho, as he has pleaded for Mazi Nnamdi that they are sorry for delaying for 10 years for this job. That he's going to do all his possible best to bring justice for Mazi Nnamdi, and he's already working on it. Within 2 weeks, Mazi Nnamdi has appeared in court over to three times, and we promised that on the 8th of May that the judgment will come. So we are waiting on the 8th of May to see what they will do. But we know that they cannot do anything otherwise. But Mazi Nnamdi cannot commit no offense. He commit no offense. That's why when Buhari government unleashed the hatred of Igbos, the hatred they have against Igbos on Mazi Nnamdi by declaring IPOB as a terrorist organization, a lot of us we stood and we condemn it. That act was unlawful. That act was condemnable. Even despite they are still trying all their possible means for the world to recognize IPOB as a terrorist. The world did not recognize IPOB as a terrorist. Tell me any world who believe that IPOB is a terrorist today. Nobody. It's only in Nigeria here they're making us to realize that IPOB is a terrorist. They are never. IPOB did not start under Buhari government. IPOB started under Jonathan. But what did Jonathan? Jonathan ignored them. They were going on with their flags. Oh, give us Biafra. We want to leave Nigeria. Of course, they have every right to agitate to leave Nigeria. After the Biafra war, the one called the Igbos come together. Let's form one Nigeria. No victor, no vanquish. But after the Biafra war, tell me any sensitive position that Igbos have ever held since after the Biafra war. They are not allowed them to rule. They say they are not good to be a president of Nigeria. The only thing they have to do, for Biafra, the only thing they have to do Biafra, thanks to Obasanjo, who in his own magnitude bring Igbo in to become a senior president during his time, and make Igbo man to be a president. But that one is enough. It was not enough. It wasn't enough. You could see that how Nigeria economy was flying like eagles under Obasanjo because Obasanjo allowed the Igbos to be in the front lines of his economy. And Nigeria was moving fast. Nigeria was flying like eagles under Obasanjo to 2015 because Igbos were in the front of the economy. They were in the front of the economy. But the moment Buhari came, because of the hatred he had against the Igbos, and he sidelined the Igbos, he felt that Igbos are not good enough. He brought his people, the Fulani men, put them on the top position. They crumbled the economy of Nigeria. And today we are
the way we are coming, I understand that the other time when Igbos, Biafra gathered in Latin Finland for the declaration of Biafra, of course it was done under the watchful eye of international media. Just like it said, the countries like United States of America, Britain, like world body like UN, European Union, didn't see IPOB as a terrorist organization. Could it be the reason IPOB is selling everywhere in the world, contrary to the position of the Nigerian government?
No, the truth of the matter is that the world knows what IPOB is fighting for. IPOB is fighting, they want to go on their own. And every other country in the world you see today, many countries are also agitating, they want to go to Spain. They are part of Catalonia are saying they want to go on their own, go to other countries. So it's not a crime. Now that you don't allow them to rule, it's between Yoruba and the Hausa, they are ruling this country. Yoruba and Hausa seek this country. Because if you have never given me a time to rule, you cannot tell me I'm part of people that spoil the country. It has been from Yoruba to Hausa, from Hausa to Yoruba. You don't allow Igbo man to come and rule. That's why in 2023 we say, okay, since we have seen the best and the worst of Fulani and Hausa, we have seen the best and the worst of Yoruba, let's try and see what Igbo man can offer. And that's why you see that a lot of us, people from the middle belt, you see that Peter Obi won Nasarawa, Peter Obi win Plateau, Peter Obi win, he pulled a lot of weight in the middle belt. We were tired about the killings.
But you recall that the minister, foreign affairs minister of the foreign affairs minister of Russia was very emphatic the other time that going forward, countries of the world, UN, European Union, should start respecting self-determination. And we know that once you talk about self-determination globally, the first thing that comes to mind is Nnamdi and Biafra.
Yeah, that's why we are saying that Mazi Nnamdi is, for me, is not doing anything wrong by fighting for Biafra for his people. You know, I keep saying it that Mazi Nnamdi is preaching the right message he's supposed to preach. We are prolonging the evil days in this country. The earlier you allow everybody to go, the earlier will be better for us. Igbo will have be the Japan of Africa. Igbo will have be the China of Africa now, if they allow Biafra to go. And it will be of a benefit to every other African country in the world. By holding Igbo, you are pinning them down. You say, oh, if we allow Igbo to grow, they will dominate. We are doing ourselves. These people are talented. These people are blessed by God. That's why you see Igbo man will have a shop near you. Before you know, you expand, they have 5 shops. You think, oh, how did he do it? It's not a magic. They were born by it. It's not juju. Juju know they do business. Oh, this man is a ritualist. You go carry juju for a land, come they do business. Go do your own juju. If it is by juju. These are people that are blessed. If you look at most of the countries that are doing well in the world, Igbos are in the front of their economy because they are gifted. They might not go to school, though. Most of them don't go to school. They do well more than professors. You see, Igbo boy, you know, go school, he cannot even write his name, but he's a millionaire. What is he selling? Many things. They know the brain is there. They are born with it. The Bible says you cannot cause whom God has blessed. I feel that the Igbos are blessed by God. Don't forget that their origin is from their Jews. You guys. So the reason Nigerians we are where we are now is because of the hatred against Igbos as a nation. Buhari did it. Now, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, which I think he will do different. He's always doing the work because Bola Ahmed Tinubu is more or less Yoruba government. If we can condemn a Buhari who is a military man, how can we not condemn a Tinubu who is a civilian, who said he's a Democrat, who has run away from the dictatorship of Abacha? So all we are saying that if you want Nigeria to be better, bring Igbo back. Let Igbo be in the appeal of the economy of Nigeria, and you see Nigeria will rise up again. All these shenanigans, economy, Bola Ahmed Tinubu is doing. Look at the Minister of Power. Where he tell you, we have badge A, we have badge B, Minister of Power. Do you see the light? Nigeria are paying through their nose, but we don't see the light. As I speak to you now, yesterday, he said Nigeria should be get ready because the tariff will be hiked again. Nigeria are paying through their nose. And that is what you get when you pick people who have nothing to offer in the place of authority. That's what you have.
Let me say very thank you for your time. This is a good place to let me go.
Thank you for having me.
The topic for this video is how shameless and problematic Nigeria is at this point. I first of all know you would want me to mind my business and talk about my own country, Ghana. But listen, I don't really care about what you think. And if you haven't checked in my videos, I talk more about my country than any other on this platform. But at this point, it's not just silly and problematic how miserable Nigeria is, it's becoming for all of West Africa. And if you feel agitated already for my choice of words, wait and hear the rest of all I have to say. Let's get into it. Nigeria's population is a national security threat to every neighboring and West African country. As of March this year, Nigeria's population is more than half the total population of West African countries. More than half. This means on any given day, the influx of Nigerian citizens to any West African country will easily swallow up the entire local population. This is why every country in West Africa needs to have a say in what goes on in Nigeria, on the backdrop of the fact that they like to travel, ladies and gentlemen. They like to move, and they are moving in numbers. Now, ladies and gentlemen, two major situations are making Nigeria look scary to the rest of Africa, especially the neighboring West African countries. And I said two major things. But first, let's put aside the lack of stable electricity and inflation for now. Those are regular problems everywhere that every country in Africa has to deal with. However, the two worrisome situations brewing in Nigeria, which threatens the sovereignty of other African countries, has to do with the religious extremism and poverty. Ladies and gentlemen, I need you to again hold back on the insults for now, and also put down your biased glasses and hear me out for a minute before you come in. Are you aware of the number of Islamist jihadist groups operational in Nigeria as of 2025? Let me give you the list, ladies and gentlemen. It started in the year 2000 with Boko Haram, whose aim is to establish an Islamic state in Nigeria. Then the first splinter group from Boko Haram, called Ansaru, was formed in 2012. After Ansaru came the next splinter group called Islamic State West Africa Province, aka ISWAP, which started in 2016. Darul Salam also came in from the Niger Delta, and then the multiple Fulani militant groups came in. Just when we thought these groups were too many to handle for one country, then we hear of a group originally from Mali and also operational in Niger moving in to Nigeria. They are called Lakurawa. The situation appears to get worse by the days, from one bad jihadist group to a worse group. Ladies and gentlemen, Is Nigeria becoming or already become the main breeding ground for all terrorist groups in Africa? What's going on here? When other countries are thinking of ways to create conducive environment to entice foreign investment, Nigeria is rather enticing terror. Let me ask you this. What conditions are made where almost all of them are situated? Groups will directly enter all the nearby countries. These are countries in West Africa. This may include the splinter groups moving to other countries or the citizens of Nigeria abandoning their own homeland for another. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a serious issue that needs immediate continental concern. Nigeria is a friend of Ghana. Nigeria is a part of ECOWAS. When they are moving into your country, we cannot turn them away. But when 1 million moves in at one time, what then becomes the fate of the host nation's security, sovereignty, and economy? And this can happen on any given day, ladies and gentlemen. And what actually terrifies me is this. I don't see any real political actions or steps taken by the leadership of the country to deal with the situation. You don't hear of the presidency talk about strategies. You don't hear of governors talk plans, and senators the same. Where are the marches, ladies and gentlemen, and the demonstrations on the streets to force the hand of the government to face it head on? Where are they? It's like the fate of the people in this country is in individuals' hands. Those with the resources may hire armed officers for their personal security, and those who don't have to live carefully and away from certain hotspots. Ladies and gentlemen, is this the best Nigeria can do in their own country? Day in, day out, all we hear is kidnapping, robbery on buses and even on trains, village killings, and so on. Is this ever going to change in Nigeria in the nearest possible time? Nigeria currently ranks 10 on every type of crime list in the world. Talk about cybercrime, organized crime, financial crimes, and extremism. You will find them on the top 10 list of all of them. What type of society are you building? On the criminality index on ocindex.net, you are 6th out of 193 countries, 2nd out of African countries, and number 1 in West Africa. You are ranked 19th among the least peaceful countries in the world, and nothing shows it bothers you, especially they that hold power in the country. Omanaja, what's up? When you finally get the chance to vote for a president who may bring a difference to the country, you reject it. You vote the same type of leader continues. Why won't you try change? Why can't the people try what Ghana did? You come out in your numbers. You create your own coalition centers. You protect the ballot boxes at all costs and ensure a free and fair elections for once in your lifetime. Because if you as a regular Nigerian don't like what's going on in your home country, you have to do something about it, ladies and gentlemen. That cannot be done by anyone else but yourselves, unless it benefits you. What's the ultimate goal here? When you have chosen democracy as your system of governance and it's only making life a living hell for the majority of the people, what is the plan, ladies and gentlemen? This is disturbing. Now, on to the second situation that is of equal concern as the first. This is about the level of poverty in Nigeria. You have more than 40% of your total population living below the global poverty line of $2.15 per day. That's more than 100 million people, ladies and gentlemen. That's a national security crisis. To have more than 100 million people who don't spend up to 3,300 naira in a day is problematic for the state's economy and for the people themselves. And here is how. The 3,300 naira per day will include your transport fare in and out to work if you have one, or to school, your breakfast, your lunch, your supper for one person. And so when that's not possible for more than 100 million people, then there isn't much these 100 million people are doing to contribute to the economy of the local state. People must work, produce, buy, pay pay taxes and all of that, which runs the local economy. And that explains why countries whose citizens spend more do better than countries which citizens spend less. This is economic fact. Economic activities thrives off of demand and supply, buying and selling. And so when purchasing power drops, supply power is affected. Ladies and gentlemen, in addition to that is the low rate at which Nigeria's economy is growing. With the kind of population you have and expected to have in the next 10 years, your economy cannot survive on a single-digit economic growth in a fiscal year. Currently in Nigeria, your country is growing on an average rate of 3.4%. 3.4%. That's super slow for your size. You need to move that thing to more than 10% per annum and sustain it over a decade to meet the surge ahead. Your country's population is projected to hit 290 million in the next 10 years, and that's adding at least 50 million more people to what you have now. So the pace you are running will have to change immediately. From 2020 to 2023, the average unemployment rate was over 39% of the capable workforce until last year, when the new administration by Tinubu had to revise the method for calculating to reduce it to now 5.3%. Whether that is accurate or not, the reality of the people hasn't changed, and that's a huge problem. Ghana and every other country for that matter have our own problems to deal with, but at least not with the numbers Nigeria comes with. The very fact that these two situations I've just described has a direct impact on all neighboring countries is what has triggered me to do this video, because the rise and success of Nigeria is in the interest of all African countries. In the same way, the fall and demise of Nigeria is detrimental to all African countries, ladies and gentlemen. Therefore, whether it offends your pride as a successful Nigerian who doesn't like your country being talked about in a negative light or not,